Welcome
Welcome.
to the virtual campfire, where we read creepypastas and commentate.
That's
Very
what we
cool.
gonna be doing today, baby. That's our plan. What's good, everybody?
I'm Joey.
I'm Jerry, and we are Gong. Right? That's our titles and intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's music here, right?
What are we reading today, Jerry?
We're reading the creepypasta called Knocking from creepypasta.org. Submitted by Creepypasta Indexer. Alrighty, here I go.
Okay, let's get into it.
Alright. It started when I was 6 years old. I was in school. It was the middle of a reading lesson, and I needed to pee badly. At that age, actually, a fair few kids still wet themselves, and I always got paranoid about embarrassing myself in public like that. I stuck my hand up and told Miss Zebby, who the... Okay. Zebby. Her name is Mrs. Zebby. Alrighty. It's that I needed. I'm allowed to swear, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can
sweet.
censor it.
Absolutely. That. And told Miss Zebby that I needed to use the bathroom. After the usual speech about how I should have gone at break, she gave me the key to the disabled access toilet, as it was the closest one to my classroom. It was the middle of fifth period, and the corridors were empty and seemed cavernous to me. I was a short, scrawny thing back then. Wasn't everyone? What grade is this?
6
He's
years old.
6 years old.
Yeah,
He's literally okay.
Wow.
Wasn't everyone scrawny? Alright, wait. I was a short, scrawny thing back then. I sometimes had trouble with doors, especially unlocking them, and I fumbled for a good minute or two in trying to get the blasted thing open. Anyway, as I sat on my porcelain throne, there came a knocking at the door. "Someone's in here," I said. I called, disgruntled at his disturbance. There came a pause, then the knocking resumed. It was faster now, more determined. Okay, now that's when you get pissed.
Oh my gosh, this is like my nightmare.
It's pounding as you're
bathroom
shitting. You're just shitting and it's just come on. Wait a minute. The knocking slowed, and a voice replied, "Let me in. I need to come inside." The speaker's tone was thin and ready. An adult I didn't recognize. I may have been 6, but I also had a fairly good understanding of bathroom etiquette. Mainly that you didn't let more than one person into an area only slightly larger than a cupboard. "Go away." The knocking intensified again, until it was a frantic drum beat. Just a few feet from me and out of sight, I heard the voice shouting something, growing more and more desperate. "Let me in, just open the door, please." I was terrified. By that point, the hammering and yelling was so loud, and yet nobody had come to investigate it. Eventually, my teacher came to find me, angry, because I had been gone for almost half an hour. When I refused to open the door to let her in, she got a spare key from the receptionist and then took me to the headmaster's office and called my parents. I was suspended for the rest of the week, and I never told anyone what happened. Okay, why would they suspend?
Because you were stuck in the bathroom for 30 minutes.
They suspended a 6-year-old for being scared in a bathroom.
I don't think I knew anyone that got suspended in
Excuse me?
years of age.
They suspended a 6-year-old. Are you kidding me? For taking too long in the bathroom. What? Alrighty then. I had just celebrated my 7th birthday, and my family were having a barbecue in my honor. It was a gloriously sunny day, but as soon as we'd set everything in the allotments behind our house, the coal refused to light. My dad asked me to go and get some fire starters from the shed in the front garden. It was pretty cramped inside, and I wouldn't fit all the way, so I just opened it up, stood on tiptoes to reach the shelf holding my objective, then shut the door. As I turned away, a frantic knocking hit the other side of the door. "Open up, I need to come through." The voice was not the one I'd heard the month before. It was deeper, more brooding and angry. I said nothing and hurried away. I had no idea what was happening, but it frightened me. As I walked away, there came a final thump, like a fist being slammed against wood, and I heard his voice again. "You little bastard, I'll rip your fucking teeth out. Let me through."
What is?
Well,
Wow, you
he's
just called
not.
a 6-year-old a you little bastard.
Wait, okay. If he's pounding on the door, why is he's not in the bathroom anymore? Why would he lock the shed behind him? He's not in the
That's
bathroom.
Honestly, like, what if like they're like actually like desperate or something?
Desperate to get in the shed. They need the charcoal now. I ran back to my party and spent the rest of the day glancing over my shoulder. So when does he get out? Does he get out does he wait? Does he get out immediately after he hears these voices? It just sort of goes, I ran back to my party. He phased through the shed walls. Homie.
He waited for 30 minutes again.
He pulled a flash, he vibrated at the same frequency or whatever as the wall, and then jumped through. This is the story of Barry Allen. As you might have guessed by now, there were a lot of these voices. I count at least 30 total. Every month or so, I used to get them, pleading to be let through doors. Can you hear Milo barking? Because he just barked twice.
I heard that.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. It was only like once.
Almost always, it would be immediately after I shut the door behind me, as though these strange entities had been following me. I never told anyone, but to be honest, I just got used to it. How do you get used to people pounding on your door? It always made me jump, and some of these voices would make me feel uneasy, but I knew that I was safe, so long as I did not open the door. Some of the voices I got used to the extent that I even named them. There was one which always used to appear at my front door. At home, we have frosted glass, and I could see a silhouette of an average-sized man wearing a cap of some kind. He never spoke, but occasionally would push envelopes containing blank pieces of paper through the letterbox. I called him the postman. He was one of the more unsettling ones. If I tried to speak to him, he would look up sharply, then begin knocking. I generally left the postman alone. 20 years on, and I have retained as much normality as possible. I have plenty of friends, and I even have an on and off relationship with a girl I met last year. Not bad for a guy who wakes up in the middle of the night and then listens intently to noises you can't hear on the other side of the door. Yeah, my buddies think I'm strange and kooky, but they put up with it. They're all great. I miss them. You miss them? Where did they go?
Kooky. You could use like a ton of words, but you say kooky.
He's
okay.
strange and kooky and quirky and funny.
Wow.
You see, things have started to get strange. Well, stranger than usual, I suppose. 3 weeks ago, I awoke, sweating and crying, though I do not know why. My dream had been, from what I recall, fairly normal, when a huge shadow had abruptly fallen over everything. Literally the second I opened my eyes, there came the knocking at my bedroom door. Not just normal knocking though, this was truly frantic. Who goes there, I yelped. Please, help us, it replied. I was surprised. It was a sadistic, angry voice that I remember from my father said on my 7th birthday, but it seemed genuinely sincere. There was a painted tone to it too, as though the speaker were grievously wounded. I actually found myself pulling back the sheets to get up, but I hesitated. I had never before been tempted to open the door. I suppose as a child, I had so rigorously drummed into my head that the idea that whatever lay beyond was evil, that it was just common sense, to be quite honest. I came very close to letting the thing into my room that morning. I held out in the end. It got worse. Just 2 days later, I was in my local corner shop. I just paid for a bottle of milk and a newspaper when a great force slammed against the shop door. Simultaneously, a voice began screaming, a long, keening squeal of pain. Is no one else in this shop?
Is no one else in? Yeah, what?
Yeah, is the shop just empty?
Aren't like the doors usually like glass or
yeah, they're usually like see through. Yeah, and yeah, sometimes they're just wide open. I guess. Why do these? Okay, it's a shop. Why would the door be locked? Why are they still pounding to be let in? They can still just let themselves in. What? Why did I choose this creepypasta? Simultaneously, a voice began screaming, a long, keening squeal of pain. I willed to face the door, but there were so many flyers plastered over the window. The shopkeeper stared at me as though I were crazy. In the end, I asked if he had a bathroom I could use. Murmured some half-thought-out excuse and hid there for 10 minutes until the screaming stopped. There were 4 more incidents between then and now. A mixture of screams and tearful begging. The postman stopped by yesterday too. He knocked politely before sliding his usual letter through the letterbox. Then another. A total of 10 plain brown envelopes. The postman waited for a few minutes, knocking occasionally, and then he left me alone. Each letter contained a sheet of A4 paper, but somebody had taken a black pen to the picture, scribbling and shading them with such vigor that there were large tears around the center, and the edges were frayed. I shoved them back into their envelopes and tried to put it from my mind. Earlier, my bedroom door shook violently. It wasn't a scream or howl or a roar that I heard, though. It was just crying, dozens and dozens of voices, sobbing quietly. Another blow struck my door. Plaster flaked from the walls and twirled to the carpet. Still no pleas or bargaining, just sobbing. Crash. I jumped up from my chair. Crash. A hairline crack split the frame of the door in one corner. My phone began to ring, and I heard a sharp rapping at the glass of my window between the curtains. I tried answering the phone, but it was simply yet more voices crying, not even sobbing, though. More like bawling in terror and anguish. I hung up, but it kept ringing, so I took the battery out. I have shoved most of my furniture against the door and window. It had been there for 3 hours, since this latest attempt at entry began. The battering had not abated, nor the crying. I'm fairly sure that my door won't hold much longer. As for my mediocre barricade, it could be swept aside in 2 minutes. I find myself faced in... Hold on. I missed... I accidentally... Where did it go? I accidentally scrolled again.
Oh no.
I find myself faced with the very real possibility of death, so I am writing this memoir of sorts, just in case something does happen. That's why he said I missed them. I had a feeling from that small thing, he's like writing this as like a survival.
Yeah, I was like, why do you miss them?
Why do you miss them? This is definitely a survival note thing. Yeah, it's confirmed. What? Wait. Also, they're still battering, yet the doors, I'm pretty sure, unlocked. But all right. Crash. What do they want? Crash. Do they even want to hurt me? Crash. They seemed fearless, even malicious before. Crash. What could have driven them to do this? Crash. Maybe I should open the door. Crash. Maybe I should let them in. Silence fell. I realized that even the crying had ceased. For a whole minute I sat there, then I got up and hurried to my door, eager to escape this claustrophobic situation. Perhaps I'd go outside, where I could be far away from any doors and from the damned knocking. I pulled away my barricade and turned the handle. Locked. Kneeling, I peered through the keyhole. Beyond my bedroom door was not the corridor that I remembered, but another room, some kind of library or classroom, I think. It seemed unoccupied, but for one kid sitting and reading with his back to me. I banged on the door. Hey kid, let me out, okay? He glanced over his shoulder. Yeah, over here. Could you open this door, please? I can't. I'm in detention. I'm not supposed to talk to anyone. Go away.
Oh my god.
Damn, little boy.
I think it's turning.
He turned from me. Confused and exasperated, I began to stand up. A loud bang shattered the silence once more. I realized it sounded like a fist being pounded against glass. My window. I heard it again, but this was not the frantic knocking of somebody wanting to get inside. This was not even an attempt to break in. Whatever was beyond the curtain. Oh my god! I'm sorry, someone called me on Discord and it scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god damn it. Somebody called me on Discord and it scared me. This was not even an attempt to break in. Whatever was behind the curtain and glass knew I was inside. It knew I was frightened in the most predatory and sadistic way possible. It wanted me to be afraid. I turned back to the door and began hammering on it frantically. Hey, let me in, okay? I really need you to open the door. So it's like him. He was the one. So, oh my god.
Oh, so it's like he turned into that chute.
Huh.
So he's stuck there then? For like ever? What the heck?
That wasn't that scary.
Honestly, this wasn't that scary. It's just like pretty like I wanted
still
to
kind
know
of
where it was
confused.
going. What would you do if you
I'd jump
constantly
every
heard
time,
knocking
and also I'd
anywhere you
like-
went?
I'd
and it was,
like-
different voices.
I got guns and shit, homeboy. I stay strapped. I pull up with the Nerf gun.
So, oh my god.
Oh hell no.
Did he ever?
Hell no.
Did he
Yeah,
ever
never
think
let
of like
those guys-
opening it?
That's true. Yeah, I don't have any locks on my door, so if anyone really wanted to get in, they would just let themselves in. I can, however, remove the doorknob.
Would it? Cause.
But that was an interesting creepypasta. There were a lot of things that didn't make sense, but some things did. Some okay, alrighty. That was alright.
Okay.
What a
It was.
two? Yeah, I'd give it a
okay.
about a 2 out of 5 as well. What a
2 out of 5.